Hi guys, so sorry if the lighting looks a little bit weird. I was filming with natural lighting, but it's slowly getting a bit darker because it is actually about 6 o'clock. So I put the ring light on as well to kind of try and combat that. It's still kind of light outside, but it was too dark without the ring light, so I'm sorry if it looks a bit artificial. I know you much prefer the lighting when it's natural, so don't worry. From now on I will try and make sure that I do it with natural lighting, but it couldn't be helped today. So what we're chatting about today is something that I mentioned recently that I was going to do, and you guys all seem to be into it, and that was my go-to products for the cold weather that we have been having. I say that today has actually been really warm, like abnormally warm for February, which to me means that really cold weather is coming. People seem to think that now it's summer. I swear to God, I saw a woman in flip-flops today, and I saw a couple of men that had shorts on, and I'm just like, false sense of security. It's not gonna last. It's like, no, it's too early. Like, pace yourself. But I've got a nice collection of products here. I haven't got any makeup because I did a video not that long ago about kind of makeup and stuff for winter, so I didn't want to just repeat myself with those kinds of products. This is more skincare, body care, fragrance, that kind of thing, and just things that I find work really well for me when the weather is a little bit colder. So I'm going to start with facial skincare because people's skin does tend to suffer a little bit in the colder weather. My skin definitely still needs exfoliating, but I have to be quite careful what I use on it because otherwise it can get a bit irritated and a bit dry if it's very cold. So I've been really enjoying this. This is the L'Oreal Smooth Sugars Nourish Scrub, which looks like that. I'll show you what the actual product inside looks like. It's very nourishing. If you've got very like acne prone skin, you won't like this. Leaves a little bit of a film, but I only use this maybe like 2 to 3 times a week, so it works quite well for me that way, and it just gets rid of any dead skin cells, and then I'll go in with whatever mask I'm going to use. Which brings me on to the fact that I will still use cleansing masks and that kind of thing, whichever ones I fancy. I don't tend to kind of stick to specific ones in that area, but I will use a hydrating mask. I like the Origins drink up mask, but I also really like this vitamin E one from Superdrug because it's really cheap. You can just slather a big thick layer of it on in the bath. Your skin will just drink up what it needs. It doesn't break me out, really lightweight, and works really well. But then sometimes when I feel like I need that little extra bit of moisture boost, if my skin is feeling a bit drier, couple of times a week maybe I'll use something like this. This is the Sanctuary Therapist Secret Facial Oil. My skin likes facial oil a lot, but I can't use all of them all the time. So for example, a lighter oil like the Balance Me Radiance oil, I'll use that one in the summer. My skin loves it. This is a little bit richer. I can only use this in the winter and not constantly. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. But on days when I'm not using that and I just want that hit of moisture, I will use this. And this is the Origins Ginseng Ultra Hydrating Energy Boosting Cream. And if you want to see proof that I love this, let me show you how much I have left. Lovely, lovely product. I generally like everything I've ever tried from Origins, if I'm being honest. Smells lovely, smells kind of like oranges. The texture is just lovely, nourishing, buttery, but not too much. Such a good product, I love it. Then last kind of skincare for my face is this, and this is a product that's been discontinued, so I'm sorry, but you can still get it on like Amazon. And it's the L'Oreal Skin Perfection Anti-Fatigue Daily Correcting Perk Up Cream. I love this range from L'Oreal. I'm really pissed actually that they discontinued it because it was so good for kind of my age group where you don't want like anti-aging products because you're not at that stage yet, but you don't want anything that's kind of gonna dry out your skin, and you don't want anything that's kind of aimed at teenagers. And so what this does is it's kind of got a tint. It's similar to the Origins, they do that ginseng one, don't they? You can see here it's like got a tint release to it. And it just leaves your skin looking so beautifully glowy and just gorgeous. Let me do it here. I'll show you the difference. So look at that hand, and then look at that hand. Can you see that that one's just got a little bit more of a luminescence to it? Love that product. It looks really nice as well. If you had dry skin and you had quite perfect skin and you just had that on, maybe mattify just like your T-zone, but just that and a bit of concealer, your skin would look beautiful. Love that product. And then body wise, I will still have baths and things even though they tell you not to and that it dries out your skin, just because I like them. But I do make sure, extra sure in the cooler months, that I do moisturise my body. I'm quite good like that. I like the feeling of moisturiser, so I do tend to do it anyway. But in the summer I like lighter weight formulas. This one I bought recently and I've been really liking it, and it's the Vaseline Intensive Care Mature Skin Rejuvenation. I didn't buy it for the mature skin bar, I just bought it because I tried every other one from the Vaseline range and I like all of them, and I hadn't tried that one, so I just grabbed it to see. It smells just like generic, but it's really, really moisturising, lightweight, non-sticky. You need to moisturise, there's no two ways about it. Like, that's the best thing that you can do for it. I have just realised as well that I've missed out a product for kind of facial skincare, so let me jump right back into that category for a moment. Lips. Lips get really, really dry in the winter. I really, really like this, to a point where I kind of wish I'd bought a few more. And it's the Alexander Steiner for Primark Overnight Lip Mask. I don't use it as an overnight lip mask because I like the Nuxe one for that. I'll use this just in the morning. It's got a slight tint to it. I don't know if you can see there. Ever so slightly kind of pinky tint, and I love this so much. It makes your lips feel extra kind of plumped, and your lipstick goes on nicely. It's not sticky, it's not greasy, it's just really nourishing, and I will definitely be buying more of these. I hope they never stop making them. I hope I didn't jinx that. And then one more body thing to just tell you. Dove Summer Glow. I use this year round. In the summer I'll try and do a kind of darker fake tan, but in the winter I'll do maybe a slightly lighter fake tan so it just looks a bit more natural, and then just top up throughout the week with this. I love having a tan. It makes me feel good, it makes me feel alive, it makes me just feel a little bit more attractive. So there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Love that product. It doesn't smell, it just has like a nice fresh light smell. Make sure you just wash your hands obviously, but other than that you're good to go. If you're very fair skinned and you just use that, that would give you a nice bit of glow. I love that. And then last category is fragrances. When it's cold weather, I do tend to like my kind of more warm, kind of sexy, more complex fragrances versus when it's warm. I change my fragrances seasonally because I just like that. Number one shout out I'm going to do is this Jo Malone one, which is Mimosa and Cardamom. I actually mentioned this in my February favourites video, but I do want to just say that I still really like it and I've worn it loads. It's like a kind of cosy cashmere smell. Just really kind of warm, and the cardamom is a very warming scent. Then another one that is just stunning is Marc Jacobs Decadence. This is such a beautiful bottle, isn't it? I mean, I love how this looks so much. The fragrance itself is unusual for Marc Jacobs. It's very decadent. It's sophisticated and kind of smoky and woody and warm, and not like any of the kind of fresh daisy type fragrances that Marc Jacobs tends to do. Much more complex than that, and it's just a beautiful scent. I really like this. It lasts for ages when it's on as well, which I think is really nice, so love that. And then my last one is really affordable because the other two I showed you were quite expensive. This is ZARA Oriental. I love this fragrance. It's like a warm vanilla smell is all I can describe it, but not like a sickly cake vanilla. I always tell that story, don't I, about that girl I went to school with who wore the Body Shop's vanilla perfume, and I sat next to her. It used to make me want to be sick a bit because it wasn't that it was a horrible smell, but it just smelled like cake, and I'd be like, it's so early in the morning, why do you smell like cake? I didn't say that to her obviously, but this is just so nice, and it's like 12 quid. Really affordable, and not many people have it as well. The only other person that I've ever seen wearing it is a girl I used to work with who was really like fashion forward and chic and just way cooler than I'll ever be, and she came into work one day and she had that on, and I was like, oh my god, are you wearing ZARA Oriental? And she's like, yeah. How did you know? And I was like, because I have it, I could tell, and it made me feel like, oh, she's really cool and she's wearing it, so maybe I'm cool as well. I'm not as cool as that, but really good. Give this one a try if you haven't smelt it, because it is actually quite unusual, and for such a cheap price it lasts well on the skin too. So that's it. Those are my cold weather beauty favourites. Obviously when I say cold weather, you know, in the UK thankfully we're not dealing with like sub-zero temperatures. It's not like in, like, you know, places like Canada and that kind of thing. We get cold weather, but it's not usually insanely cold. It's, you know, put a jumper and your coat on and you're good type of weather usually. So you have to kind of bear that in mind. But I hope that little collection of products was interesting for you, and that you've taken some recommendations from it as well. And I shall see you next time. Bye guys.